Hello everyone, welcome back to SSF. I hope everybody remembers Clara, our Stormweaver. She has decided to go full cold damage, not that Whispering Ice Archmage composition. We've had a little bit of skill changes and kit changes since the last time we saw her. We've dropped Blasphemy to run Hypothermia on manual casts so that the curse isn't half as weak. But we've had a comment in the last update saying that there is a chance that switching to Orb of Winter as the explosion trigger and the freeze trigger instead of Frost Orb could be adding more DPS, more overall DPS. So we're going to try a side-by-side comparison with Frostbolt, Frostwall. Turns out that Frostbomb is usable in both variations because it adds automatic exposure for the same amount that on crit cold exposure would do, 20, which is okay. So that frees up the slot. We're running Mana Remnants only to have a slot for clarity since we're not using Mysticism anymore. We're going to try and run the Savannah boss on both builds. As you can see, she's still just a little bit tanky. And pack clearing is just as good. Where are you, mister? That was a light stun and another death. Going headfirst into all of the packs on the map doesn't really seem to work out for her. But she takes her immortality with a smile. She knows that a lot of pain comes from not being able to completely die. Okay, let's see if we can find the... That's a Shrine of Acceleration. Maybe if we can clear these packs, which is, I'd say, still fast enough, not Lightning Spear type of fast, but fast enough. Here, we found the boss. I'm going to pick that Exalted Orb up. So, let's clean out the chaff here. And remove the buff so the comparison is fair to the other build. So, what do you want to do? Well, you want to get in there. Is the boss Hypothermia? Oh. Okay, now the boss has all of the debuffs that we can add. Looks like a 47 and a 59% decrease to its cold resistance, adds up to 106, if I'm not mistaken. But keeping the debuffs up. So yeah, still pretty, the build is pretty mobile. You have to move around, especially against this boss, right? And that was the boss on the old build with Frostbolt. What's this? would you kindly go away and let me do my teleport? That was pretty fast. I'm not sure how long it took, but it surely took much less than last time we saw Clara going up against the Savannah boss. So let's just try and switch to the new composition with Frostbolt, Eye of Winter. Zenith is there because I have nothing better, and Bitter is there because it Eye of Winter will definitely pick up some lightning damage, and we don't want that. And either more freeze build-up or leverage, because again it should be a trigger skill for Frostwall and our cast on critical, but the comment wanted Eye of Winter to maximize on the damage gain, so let's see. Increase critical hit chance against mobilized. No, this is not gonna help. Of course, we need to add Orb of Storms somewhere. Let's try it without Frostwall. Orb of Storms with Conduction, Commiserate, and Overcharge, because why not? So if we're going to use Eye of Winter as a damage dealer, Glaciation is not the choice. And maybe we can get, let's see, Custom Freeze is not gonna help us too much, but okay, let's try Considered Casting as a DPS increase and slot Glaciation here. We've frozen, so let's try and freeze again. So that was the one Savannah. Let's try and get to the boss on the second Savannah. It's quite a ways across the map, and alright. I've chosen the maps to have a single suffix, which is elemental weakness. It seemed like it would be a good setup. I mean, it wouldn't affect the result. So without a Frostwall, but we have Orb of Storms, so I don't know. What do you think? Because we're losing Frostwall, mapping. Okay. As you've seen, that elite just dropped in 3 hits. Let's do the same for this guy. And I don't believe there were any custom freeze triggers there. But because you have a free button combo, it is a bit more difficult to play, right? You just have to, but if you can get accustomed or comfortable with the rotation and, you know, drop the storm, drop the bomb, try not to die, that doesn't really happen every time, right? When you try not to die. either way, we're moving towards the boss. So the bomb, the storm, and I gotta say, I'm kind of surprised. It does seem like bigger chunks are being taken out of the enemy, even if the setup is a bit more convoluted. Is that? That's not. It could have been the dream fragment. Okay, 1, 2. No, too many. 1, 2. And our convalescence is on cooldown. Okay. Okay, this might work. 1, 2. What was that, everybody? 1, 2. Get back there. Happy to see Mana Remnants is working. If only there was a support that would automatically gather them from a larger distance. Okay. But I'm wondering why we saw the Eye of Winter do some piercing in that pack. We'll just have to double check that. Now we're at the boss. Let's try and see what's going on with the boss. I didn't want to go there. Okay, so R came here. Comets are doing work. Curse again. Okay, curse. It's the same amount of cold resistance debuff as in the previous builds. That didn't change, so okay. Would it be faster if we removed consider casting, because we're pretty slow at it does seem to be a bit slower, just a little bit. Let's try again. It's definitely also skill issue. Yeah, the Orb of Winter is piercing, but got the Snakepit on. That's because Orb of Winter isn't labeled as always pierces. Doesn't say anything about piercing, so it's not gonna change its behavior. Okay, we're back here. E R 1 debuff, 2 debuff, and we're out of the arena. Come back here. Okay, so E R 1 debuff, 2 debuff. I'm happy to see that she can just sit and tank. Looks like the stun threshold updates we have on the gear are working, but it's still too slow. Let's try that again. E R 1 debuff, 2 debuff. You gotta keep the orbs up, right? And it helps if you stay within the trying to keep the debuffs up. Now, anybody watching this, if there's any skill issue you can identify in what I'm doing right here, but I will be more than happy to find out. She definitely can do much more than this, but yeah, I don't know. It does seem to be slower against bosses. And for our efforts, we are awarded a unique delirium tablet. Can't say. I'm not certain that the. I think I'll try and research this on my own, but it really does seem that the very small initial hit from Eye of Winter is definitely pulling it back, keeping it from being the damage dealer that it wants to be. I don't know. Well, I guess no, that's it, everybody. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.